saying is very easy, practicing is really difficult. Sit with the child, be with the child, listen to them. Soft skills are the things that machines cannot teach your children. Yes, I think soft skills are going to be there, which are to be looked for in the future. It's most important things.
Hello everyone, I'm Seema and I welcome you all to brand new episodes on Great Principles. Leadership is all about gratitude and fortitude. Leaders are made with support and fellowship of people who believe in the philosophy and common good that serves everyone's right. And the biggest support is from the way beyond clouds for God disposes what man purposes through thoughts and action. Please join me in welcoming my guest who places her certitude in God and offers her services towards social elevation as an educator. Please join me in welcoming my educator of the day, Dr. Sukanya Ghosh Biswas. So she is the principal of Delhi Public School, Raigarh, Chhattisgarh. Welcome to Great Principles, ma'am. We are really honored to have you with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm obliged.
So, ma'am, before we unveil more about, before I say more about you, let us hear it from you. What was your once upon a time? How did your journey started, and what motivated you to choose teaching as a profession and helped you to become an educator?
Okay, Seema, that would be a long story. I don't know how to make it short. But then I'm actually an Ayurvedic doctor by profession. I used to practice medicine for, and I had practiced for a couple of I would say more than 6 years, and uh, and that was at that point of time when I gave birth to my daughter. And when she was growing up, and almost at the age of when I was thinking of getting her admitted to a school, that point of time, I would say I was stuck with uh, a tidal wave of, motherly love. And I didn't want to part away with my daughter. I wanted to spend most of my time with my daughter. So then I thought, which would be the best option? Because if I have to go to the hospital or clinic, I would be leaving her behind. So I wanted to choose an option where I would be staying with her most of the time. So school was the best option. Now, whether I'd be good at teaching or not, that came to my mind. But in the childhood, during my growing up years, I used to teach my brother, and he used to always tell me, "Didi, you teach very nicely, better than my teachers." And my mother is also was a government teacher, government school teacher. So that time I believed that I know how to teach, and I'm better than few more teachers. I used to give a lot of examples, and that's how he used to relate his concepts. So that was my idea, and I went to the school, my daughter's school, which where I wanted to put her into. So there, fortunately, I met that time the principal. Now she's the director of that school, and my all my inhibitions were gone, and I had that doubt and confusion in myself that me being a doctor from other profession, can I be into teaching? And she gave me that insight, which I believe now, and I still try to, I still try to practice her philosophy in my everyday life till now. And that's how it began. And then I joined as a middle school teacher with smaller kids from grade 5 onwards. Then I became a coordinator. From coordinatorship, then when I had free, now I have a little bit time for myself when my daughter is away for her further studies. So I thought it is now a time to explore myself, my capabilities. So I thought of joining as a principal.
Wow. So, from saving lives to shaping lives, but you are still doing a service to the society. So wonderful, ma'am.
Yeah.
Incredible journey you have. And, I don't think that any parent can give away the career of being a doctor and choose this profession to be with the child. This is
Right.
because, in our country, we all have been like, बड़े होके तुम्हें डॉक्टर बनना है, बड़े होके तुम्हें इंजीनियर
Yeah.
बनना है, and you, after being one, you just switch. So, ma'am, I mean, this really take a
Yes.
lot of
And I'll tell you, Seema, I used to love children since my childhood. That was fine. But once I gave birth to my daughter, the whole this thing now, the perception changed towards the children. I became more attached. I became more emotional, more sensitive towards the children. Now I started to feel that these children, these sons or daughters, they are, the meaning or the purpose of somebody's life, somebody else's life, how important they are. And that's how I started thinking in that way. So that's how I thank my daughter for, I don't know, for whatever I am. It's all because of her.
Wow, wonderful. So, ma'am, as you mentioned that you are a doctor and that too an Ayurvedic one. So, there is one question which always is there behind my mind. Our body is made up of 70% of water, but many of us don't drink the required amount of water that we should. And at school level, how can we have these, just an what do you call reminder or a notification that please drink water? So, introducing water breaks, water bell, how do you feel about this concept and what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, water is very much important. And yes, water break, though we have given small breaks after 3 periods, it's a small break wherein the children can also, move around a little bit, energize themselves. And obviously, the most common thing that they go for is, let us fill the water bottle. So we generally, I as a principal don't discourage my teachers ki if the child wants to take a water break, whatever, if it is, even if it is an excuse, let them go. At least they would have a little bit of movement. And yes, we always, as teachers, we also encourage the children to have more of fruits, make them aware, the fruits that contain, more of water content. And obviously, benefits of water helps, and making sensitize the children about the importance of water in their lives, for their body, for surrounding. That is, I think it is happens in most of the schools, and we also do it.
Wonderful. So hopefully, because the habits which are built of formative years, it goes on throughout your
Yeah,
life. So building this
right,
wonderful habit of drinking more water definitely would go for a long term. So moving ahead to my
right.
next question, ma'am, what do you think about different kind of boards that are there in our country, and do you also believe in one nation, one board philosophy?
Uh, I think vari- my belief is varieties is the spices of life. So even if we have different boards in a country, it is always better to have different varieties. Why I say so? We can get the best of the different things and can learn from each other's practices and imbibe those good ones. And there is always a matter of where we can go for changes, for rectification. So as you say, I have taught in IGCSE and CBSE curricula both. I saw pros and cons in both the boards, but I have always, in my teaching career, I have always tried to imbibe the best practices of both the boards, irrespective of what the board I'm teaching. I believe in the pedagogy, which is more important. Boards are, I think, secondary. And I think nowadays the boards, like if you say so, CBSE and all, they are trying to, they have changed a lot. If you talk about from our childhood days, all the boards, they have changed, and to a level it has everybody is now thinking of and talking of conceptual learning. So it is happening worldwide. So that is a good sign. Whether it's a one board or varieties of both, that doesn't matter. I think the gap is, it is narrowing.
All right, wonderful. Yes, certainly India is a land of different races, different culture. Throughout the country, there is different languages. So yes, people need that kind of distinguish in even in education that this kind of things actually helps us more, or this would be better for my child. So I agree to that point that yes,
Yeah, we
variety.
should not restrict to something we should not restrict ourselves to only one thing. Let's see what happens around we have to have that vision which is free of any boundaries.
Absolutely. So moving ahead to my next question, ma'am. Many teachers and many school leaders were the part of formation of the visionary new education policy 2020. So if you were or you are given an opportunity to be the part of that policy, what would be three important points that you would have made in there?
Three important points or changes we're talking about, Sima.
Yeah, changes, or or things that you would have emphasized on.
I would emphasize first on the development of soft skills amongst the students, uh, because uh, like uh, whatever the career a student chooses, I think this is the soft skills are required to enjoy the age over others. So I think soft skills is a very important thing for the future, our future generation. So soft skills should be there. Development of the soft skills for the at the workplace, for the adults, and also for the students, for the teachers and the students both. And then I would say uh, experiential learning, more of this experiential learning. The lesson plans should be as such, no more of this rote learning. The children should be given, free hands to explore whatever they are studying. So the schools have to change in that way. And these are the things, and also the assessment pattern that still it has not matched up with the NEPs. It is my perception though. The assessment pattern, I should go for more of a conceptual based questions, and not the kind of, still the assessment structure is based on rote learning to some extent. So I'll make a change, I think so.
Certainly, three very important points which have been shared by you here. And I'm sure some part of it has already been taken up by the policy, and
Yeah,
we are very much
yeah,
looking forward for it. So
yes.
let's see how it is
Mhm.
executed. The ultimate key is in the
Yes.
implementation. So moving
Yes,
ahead,
that's what I say. The changes have started. It has started, and many schools have adopted. But I would say still many schools haven't. And more than like I would say, very few schools have started adopting that. So I need to see. I am hopeful that more and more schools try to explore these areas like conceptual learning, experiential learning. So that's it.
not everyone easily accept the change. They are like, they
Yeah,
are just
it's
used to
difficult.
doing certain things certain way. But yes, hopefully COVID has taught us a lot, and
Yeah,
learning from that period will definitely go for a very, very long
sure.
tenure. So, moving ahead to my rapid fire round now. My very first question to you: have you ever felt the guilt of a working mom that I'm not doing enough for my child?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
at times. Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I sometimes I get to listen, though my daughter does not crib much, but sometimes she said, Mom, you don't have time to speak to me, because most of the times I'm on the laptop and she's sitting beside me doing her work, and she's asking me something and I'm saying, okay, okay, yes, yes, carry on. So I felt that I should not have done that.
Moving ahead to my next question: how important it is to first take out time for your own self? What do you think?
It is very important, though I don't know how much I practice for myself, but yes, at the end of the day, I think this there should be some me time for me, because as a principal now, I say it's a kind of 24 hours job. Like, even if I'm not doing anything, my mind is working. So even if I say so, me time is required. But there is a question mark for myself. Maybe I'm not able to compartmentalize that. Saying is very easy, practicing is really difficult. But it is very much important. You need to know yourself. You need to have, unless and until you are relaxed, it is very much important that you also would be if you are relaxed, your environment where you are working would be relaxed. That would be stress free, and it is required for more for the ones who are around you. So so for relaxing, for switching off or whatever is going on in your mind, it is required. That's true.
Absolutely. So, moving ahead to my next question: homework make learning effective? Agree or disagree?
Uh, Homework, I'll not, I'll be somewhere in the in between. Homework, now what you call as call as a homework. If you just make the child just repeat the monotonous thing, that would be a very boring stuff. If like the homework could be something where the child is exploring, where the child is researching on any topic, the even if the child is doing some artwork related to the topics that has been taught, something which the child is actually enjoying doing it. It's not that giving that monotonous rewrite the answers, write the answers without knowing or unknowingly, copy things, even from the net. I have seen some teachers say that research on some topic. So they are just blindly copy pasting it. No,
Right.
even if they are researching it, they are actually not going into the topic. So let them. The kind of homework should be it should be a kind of a modern thing, which a child would modern in the sense I'm not the kind of homework that we used to do that 25 30 years back. It used to we'll just fill the copies. I'm just I don't I disagree to that kind of homework, that conventional thing that all everybody understands. I
Right.
think new just teachers need to plan what would be some interesting things, interesting topics.
So make homework interesting and then they will automatically,
Yeah, that is, yeah,
enhance learning. All right. So
yeah.
moving ahead to my next question. Albert Einstein said that play is the greatest form of learning. Unfortunately, when it comes to play, we have made our children to go to structured classes wherein they are taught some or the other kind of physical activity. But what, in your opinion, would be the right amount of free play time required for a child to ensure that his curiosity is built always?
See, play is very important. Play or any kind of sport in that sense. I was talking about soft skills. It helps to develop that's called soft skills, it's team spirit. Getting into teams and sports, that's what we used to call that sportsman spirit. It only develops when you get them to play. But if you ask them just to, structured play, just in a structured play that we're talking about, it won't, I don't think it would help much. Maybe it would help, but not to that extent. Give them I'm always this thing that don't bind the children to some restrict. I'm against of all these restrictions. Give them the smaller kids, just make them give them, just let them go, let them let loose on the field. Just let them do whatever they're falling down, getting up. Even if they are even if they are fighting in that, just be a support, be observe them. Even if they're fighting with with any other their friends, let them solve them themselves. They're doing it problem solving. So this is how they will develop empathy also with their peers. So for me, sport and play is very very important. And I'm always, when I when I used to do the timetable, I was always into advocate for put in sports periods, put in games periods, whether the the management likes it or not. I used to always allow that. Sports periods are very important. Even till now, I also am for this. Children should go for sports.
Absolutely. So why not bring a free period also, just for 10 minutes, wherein children just
Yes,
do whatever they want, just chit chat with their friends, roam around in the classroom, or, just relax. That is also required.
yes.
These days,
Like
children are stressed.
yes, yes. Even when I used to be a teacher, I used to go into the class, and maybe for the even for the older ones, just I used to use this as energizers. Just fly around. Just you think, imagine you were a bird. Just fly. You are bumping into each other, no problem. Fly. So it's kind of they used to enjoy a lot, and seeing them, observing them, I used to enjoy a lot. So that is nice.
All right. So moving on to my next question. So a mother, a doctor, a teacher, now a school leader. What else is Dr. Sukanya apart from these, which we don't know?
Oh, it would sound funny, but I cry a lot. I'm a very emotional and a sensitive person, and very small things brings my eyes swell up, and specifically when I watch movies, I cry also, and whenever if I go to any movie and if I watch any horror films, I scream a lot also. So I don't go to movies to watch any horror or thriller movies, because my family members, they generally get, embarrassed. So this is something which nobody knows maybe. So these are the two funny things I have.
All right. So the last question in this segment, what is that you would like to tell our dear parents so that they can equally participate in learning of the child?
Be with the child. Uh, sit with the sit with the child, be with the child, listen to them, because children would have lot of queries. We as parents, we don't have time. Sometimes at times we don't have, we feel what kind of silly questions they are asking, we don't have time, we get impatient. But that is something which I think the parents can easily, do away with. And it's very important that you spend time, actual time with your kids. And now I feel, because already that time has passed with my daughter, and I feel, and when I reflect back, I could have, spent better time with her, spent more time with her during her growing up years, where I was more busy with my work, and maybe I was prioritizing my work. So as a mother now, I when I reflect back, I feel it. I should not have done that. So, to the other parents, I don't want them to repeat the mistake maybe that I had done. And also, I was also busy in, education. I was preparing for my masters because I had come from a different background, so I had to update myself. So I had done most of my half of my, educational degrees. I had got the degrees after I have joined the school. So then I had hardly any time. I had to go to school, I had to study, and so many things, but then at the cost of my child's time. So the ones who are at this level, I would try, I'll tell them, please give this time, whatever you are going to give is not going to come back. Even I'm reflecting now, but it's that time has, I've lost that time, it's not going to come back.
Absolutely, and seeing them grow is such a beautiful thing. How there is
Such a
so much
beautiful, right?
differences happening in them,
Yeah.
and actually, those are the moment that we cherish when you go back and look at those videos. Oh my God, how adorable my daughter was, and we had so
Yes,
much for
yes,
each
yes,
other. Then they also get busy in
yes,
their life. Definitely a
yes.
very important thing, dear viewers. What our mom has shared today, it is very much required. Please invest time today. I'm sure you're not going to regret later. So, moving ahead to the last
Yeah.
question of the show. This is also called the expert talk question. So, ma'am, you have emphasized a lot on soft skills. So, yes, our
Yeah.
soft skills definitely help to build a powerful personality. I would like to understand from you, how can soft skills be developed from the very formative years, and how they can be groomed later on also in life, and what is the importance of having good soft skills?
Soft skills, I would say it, like, just I say, once I had heard from, I have watched a video from of Jack Ma, Alibaba's founder. So where he was saying, that actually had gone into my mind. It was like maybe 4 or 5 years back, maybe, that few years down the line, maybe after 10, 20 years, uh, machines are going to replace the human jobs. So machines will be smarter. So what are you going to what are your children going to do? So you have to teach something which the machines can't. So if the machines will become teachers, then what are you going to teach? So soft skills are the things that machines cannot teach your children. So soft skills are that important, which would be required by, by the students in the future for their careers. Obviously, I believe it is so important. And I have read somewhere this US labor department, they actually look for amongst their employees, when they choose for their employees, when they hire, they look for more of the soft skills than the technical skills they're looking for. So it is so important, though the scenario is changing here, but it is still yet to come. So what I have done I'm more putting more effort on the students inside the classrooms, that more of group work, give them problems, let them solve the things by their own. Whatever they will break, they will they will break the things, or whatever, that they will find the solution themselves. And for the senior ones, my prefects, uh, I have given them the freehold. You organize this event, we will only be observers, we'll just support you whatever you decide. They all brainstorm, they all sit together, plan out big events, and they are doing it so well. So and I can see the confidence level of these students, and you ask them, they're always ready. Yes ma'am, we can do that. So their confidence gives us more of this confidence, that they can handle all any situation, whether at the school or even if they go beyond that, beyond the school. So right from grade, smaller grades till the senior grades, I am only after like uh, giving them more of teamwork, where they think creatively. I stress a lot on even artwork, where they can put into their creative minds. So these are the thing. And yes, I think soft skills are going to be there, which are to be looked for in the future. It's most important things for our future generation.
Absolutely, ma'am. Very well explained.
And one more
Because,
thing, one more thing, what I also stress is, taking feedback. Like feedback giving is a very important thing, giving and taking. And I train the even the teachers also and the students how to give a feedback, so that the confidence level of the child you know gets boosted up. So feedback giving for me is a very important thing. Once you take the proper feedback, if you get the proper feedback, you would reflect on yourselves, you would work on your mistakes. And it's like reprimanding is not a solution. You need to find a solution from your own. So that is my take from this. So soft skills that I feel and I perceive.
absolutely, ma'am. So, as explained by ma'am, soft skills are very, very essential. Hard skills are very easy to measure. Just take up the tests and understand and check the concept learning. But soft skills that are the most important that a child will require when he or she enters the workforce are essential for the success. So, educators and parents, we all together need to ensure that the child's schools experience fosters the social and personal skills that will ensure his success. And if I just sum up the three main things that ma'am said, it is communication, collaboration, and creativity. These three encompasses all the soft skills at the larger front. So it's not only the responsibility of educators; it's also a responsibility of we as parents to ensure that our children are very good at their social and personal skills. So this was Dr. Sukanya Ghosh on our show today. It was a very informative show. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. We feel really privileged to have heard your wise words.
Thank you so much, Seema.